Hi, welcome back to Paw and Order. My name is Carl, and I am gonna teach you how to survive your puppy's very first vet visit without losing your mind or your shoes. Bringing a new puppy to the doctor is a massive milestone that feels a bit like taking a toddler to the pediatrician for the first time, because there is a lot of sniffing and crying and maybe a little bit of pee on the floor. But do not worry, because I have been through this 100 times, and I am going to show you exactly what happens from the moment you park your car to the moment you get that first gold star sticker. The first visit is all about building a foundation of health, and making sure your little furball is starting life on the right paw with the right medicine. You are going to meet the vet and the technicians, and they are going to become your best friends in the world of pet parenting, so you want to make a great first impression. It is not just about shots and needles, but about making the puppy feel like the vet office is a happy place full of cookies and cuddles, instead of a scary place where bad things happen to ears and tails. The very first thing you need to do, before you even leave your house, is gather all the paperwork you got from the breeder or the animal shelter where you found your pup. This includes any records of previous deworming or early vaccines that were given when the puppy was still with its mother, because the vet needs to know the exact history. Put these papers in a folder so you don't lose them, because the front desk staff will ask for them as soon as you walk through the door to create a digital file. You should also bring a small sample of your puppy's poop in a clean plastic bag, which sounds gross, but it is the only way for the vet to check for tiny worms. These parasites are very common in young puppies, and can make them very sick, or even spread to humans, if you aren't careful about cleaning up the yard. Having this sample ready will save you a lot of time, and help the vet give your puppy the right medicine immediately instead of waiting for another day. It is better to be the person with the poop bag, than the person who has to go back home, and wait for the puppy to go again later. When you arrive at the clinic, make sure your puppy is in a secure crate or on a very short leash, because the waiting room can be a very busy and stressful place for a baby dog. There might be big dogs, who are grumpy, or cats in carriers who are scared, and you don't want your curious puppy running up to them and causing a scene. Keep your puppy close to your legs, and try to keep them calm by giving them tiny bits of high-value treats like boiled chicken or special puppy biscuits. The goal is to make the waiting room feel like a fun snack party, where nothing scary happens, even if there are loud barks coming from the back rooms. If your puppy is very small, you can keep them on your lap, so they feel safe and protected by your scent and your heartbeat, while you wait for your name to be called. This is the perfect time to practice some basic sitting or staying, so the puppy learns that they still have to listen to you even in a new and exciting environment. Once the veterinary technician calls your name, they will lead you into a small exam room, where the real action begins, and the first thing they will do is weight your puppy. They use a large digital scale on the floor or a smaller one on a table, depending on how tiny your puppy is at the moment of the visit. This weight is very important, because it determines the exact dose of medicine and flea prevention your puppy will need to stay healthy as they grow up. The technician will also likely take your puppy's temperature, which is done at the back end and can be a bit surprising for a pup who has never felt that before. Don't worry, because it only takes a few seconds, and the staff are experts at keeping the puppy distracted with pets and sweet talk while they work. They will also ask you questions about what the puppy is eating, and how much they are sleeping, and if they have had any diarrhea or vomiting since you brought them home. Be honest with your answers, because even small details can help the vet understand if your puppy is developing normally or if they need a change in their diet. Now the veterinarian will come in and perform a nose-to-tail physical exam, which is basically a full-body checkup to make sure everything is working correctly. They will start by looking at the eyes to make sure they are bright and clear, and then they will peek into the ears to check for any redness or itchy ear mites. They will open the puppy's mouth to look at the teeth and gums, because healthy pink gums mean the puppy has good blood flow and is well hydrated. The vet will also use a stethoscope to listen to the heart and lungs, to make sure there are no murmurs or strange breathing sounds that could be a sign of a problem. They will feel the puppy's belly with their hands to check the internal organs, and make sure there are no hernias, which are common little bumps near the belly button. This whole process usually looks like a lot of petting and scratching, but the vet is actually gathering a massive amount of medical information with every touch. It is amazing how much they can tell just by using their hands and their eyes, and their ears to evaluate your new best friend's health. After the physical exam, the vet will talk to you about the vaccine schedule, which is the most important part of keeping your puppy safe from deadly diseases, like parvo and distemper. Puppies need a series of shots every few weeks, until they are about 4 months old, because the immunity they got from their mother's milk slowly wears off over time. The vet will explain which shots are mandatory, and which ones are optional based on where you live, and if your puppy will be going to doggy daycare or hiking in the woods. You might hear words like rabies, and bordetella and lepto, and it can feel like a lot to remember, so don't be afraid to ask for a printed schedule to take home. Most puppies handle the needles very well, especially if you keep feeding them treats during the poke, because they barely even feel the tiny needle go in. It is much better to deal with a 2-second poke now than to deal with a very expensive and scary hospital stay later, because the puppy caught a preventable sickness. These vaccines are the shield that protects your puppy as they start to explore the world and meet other dogs in the park. We also need to talk about parasites, like fleas and ticks, and heartworms, because these tiny bugs can cause massive headaches for you and your puppy if they get into your home. The vet will recommend a monthly preventative medicine that usually comes in a tasty chewable tablet or a liquid that you drop on the back of the neck. Fleas make your puppy itchy and can lead to skin infections, while ticks can carry diseases that make both dogs and humans very sick. Heartworms are the scariest of all, because they are spread by mosquitoes and live in the puppy's heart, which can be fatal if left untreated for too long. Starting these preventatives at the very first visit is the best way to make sure your puppy never has to deal with these annoying and dangerous pests. The vet will also talk about deworming, because almost every puppy is born with some kind of intestinal worm that needs to be cleared out with a special liquid medicine. You will usually give 1 dose at the clinic, and another dose a few weeks later at home, to make sure every single worm is gone for good. The first vet visit is also the perfect time to talk about microchipping, which is a tiny chip the size of a grain of rice that is injected under the puppy's skin. If your puppy ever gets lost and ends up at a shelter or another vet clinic, they can scan the chip to find your name and phone number and get the puppy back to you. It is a permanent form of identification that can never fall off like a collar or a tag can during a big adventure or a storm. The injection is very quick and feels just like a regular vaccine, so your puppy won't be bothered by it for more than a second or two. Once the chip is in, you have to make sure you register it online with your current contact information, so it actually works when you need it to. I highly recommend doing this at the first visit, because puppies are fast and curious, and they can slip out of an open door in the blink of an eye. Having that microchip gives you a massive amount of peace of mind as you start training your puppy to stay close and listen to your commands. While you are in the exam room, the vet will probably ask you how potty training is going, because that is the #1 struggle for most new puppy owners. They can give you professional tips on how to set a schedule, and how to recognize the signs that your puppy needs to go outside right away. They might also give you advice on crate training, and how to stop the puppy from biting your ankles, or chewing on the furniture in your living room. This is your chance to ask all the questions that have been keeping you up at night since the puppy arrived. No question is too silly for a vet, because they have heard it all before, and they want to help you be a successful pet parent. Whether it is about the best puppy food, or how to trim those tiny sharp claws, they are there to provide you with expert guidance based on science. Take notes on your phone or on a piece of paper, so you don't forget the great advice they give you during the busy appointment. Socialization is another big topic the vet will cover, because the first few months of a puppy's life are the most important for their brain development. The vet will tell you how to safely introduce your puppy to new people and new sounds without putting them at risk of catching diseases before they are fully vaccinated. They might suggest avoiding public dog parks for a few more weeks, but encourage you to have playdates with healthy vaccinated dogs belonging to your friends. They will also talk to you about getting the puppy used to being handled, which means touching their paws and looking in their mouth, and cleaning their ears at home. If you do these things regularly, your puppy will be much better behaved at future vet visits and at the groomer, because they won't be scared of being touched. A well-socialized puppy grows up to be a confident and happy adult dog, who can go anywhere with you without being afraid of the world. The vet wants your puppy to be mentally healthy, just as much as they want them to be physically healthy and strong. At the end of the visit, the staff will usually give your puppy a lot of praise, and maybe a special toy, to celebrate their bravery during the exam. You will head back to the front desk to pay for the visit, and schedule your next appointment, which is usually in 3 or 4 weeks for the next round of shots. This is a good time to buy a few bags of the food the vet recommended, or to pick up the flea and heartworm medicine for the next few months. Make sure you get a printed summary of the visit, that lists the puppy's weight and the vaccines they received, so you can keep it in your records at home. If you have pet insurance, this is also the time to make sure you have the paperwork needed to file a claim for the visit costs. Most clinics are very helpful with this, and can even email the records directly to your insurance company, to make things easier for you. Leaving the clinic should feel like a victory, because you have taken a huge step in protecting your puppy's future, and building a relationship with a medical professional. When you get back to the car, give your puppy a big cuddle, and maybe one last treat to seal the deal on the positive experience you just created together. Your puppy might be very tired after all the excitement, and the poking and the prodding, so don't be surprised if they sleep for several hours when you get home. This is totally normal, because their little bodies are processing the vaccines, and their brains are processing all the new smells and people they encountered. Keep an eye on them for the rest of the day, to make sure they aren't having any rare allergic reactions, like swelling or hives, which would require a quick call back to the vet. Most puppies just have a little bit of soreness at the injection site, which goes away very quickly with some rest, and a soft place to nap. You have done a great job today, and you should feel proud of yourself for being such a responsible and caring puppy owner. The first visit is the hardest one because of the unknown, but now you know exactly what to expect for the next one in a few weeks. I want to remind you that every vet clinic is a little bit different, so some might have you wait in the car, while others have a special room just for puppies to keep them away from sick older dogs. Always follow the specific rules of your clinic, because they are designed to keep everyone safe and healthy during their visit. If you ever feel uncomfortable with a vet or a technician, it is okay to look for a different clinic that feels like a better fit for your personality and your puppy's needs. You are the advocate for your dog, and you should always feel like your concerns are being heard and respected by the medical staff. A good vet will take the time to explain things to you in simple English, and won't make you feel rushed or silly for asking questions about your pup. Building a long-term relationship with a vet you trust is one of the best things you can do for your puppy's long-term happiness and well-being. You are a team now, and the goal of that team is to make sure your puppy lives a long and healthy life by your side. As your puppy grows, you will find that the vet visits become faster and easier, because the puppy knows the routine, and knows that they will get treats at the end. You will start to see the same friendly faces at the clinic, and they will love watching your puppy grow from a tiny fluffball into a strong and beautiful adult dog. Always keep your records organized and stay on top of those booster shots, because consistency is the key to preventing those nasty diseases we talked about earlier. If you move to a new city or change vets, make sure to take your records with you, so the new doctor has the full history of your pet's health. Your puppy is counting on you to make these choices for them, because they can't tell you when they need a checkup or a vaccine. By being proactive and organized, you are giving them the absolute best chance at a life full of adventures and tail wags, and healthy afternoon naps. You are doing amazing, and I am so happy to be part of your journey, as you learn how to be the ultimate pet parent. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Paw and Order, and I hope you feel much more confident about taking your puppy to their first vet appointment. Remember to bring your paperwork and your poop sample, and a whole lot of treats to make it a fun day for your little guy or girl. If you found these simple steps helpful, please hit that like button, and subscribe to our channel for more puppy training and health tips every single week. We are here to make pet ownership easy and fun, and stress-free for everyone, so you can focus on the love and the cuddles. Leave a comment below telling me about your puppy's name, and what breed they are, because I love hearing about all the new members of our community. I'm Carl, and I am so excited to see you in the next video, where we will talk about even more ways to keep your pets happy and healthy. Until then, keep training and keep loving those pups, because they are the best friends we could ever ask for in this life.